Hey YouTube, Sam here again. I know I said I was going to wait about a week or so before posting another video, but I started thinking about what I wanted to say in my next vid, and I got so many ideas that I decided to just go ahead and make another one today. So I'm mainly going to talk about the Philadelphia Trans Health Conference, which was this past weekend. It was the very first Trans-Pacific conference that I've ever gone to, and it was really great to see so many people come together and go to workshops and visit all the tables and get some literature and really meet people coming from the same places that I am and can really understand what I'm going through. There were all different types of people there, trans men, trans women, everyone in between, so many gender identities, sexualities, etc. At all different stages of transition, and it was just great to see. So I wrote down a few ideas that I wanted to specifically talk about in this video. So what it was like attending my first Trans-Pacific conference, I think I just covered that. It was really great. I can't wait to go next year. I'm hoping at some point in the future to go to the Southern Comfort Conference, which is amazing from what I've heard. I've spoken to a few guys who've gone, and they keep telling me that I have to go. So hopefully not this year, but the year after I'll be able to afford it and spend some time down there and really enjoy myself. So one of the things that I want to talk about was my thoughts on going while being pre-everything and what that experience was like. Like I said in my last video, I am pre-everything. What was really interesting though was that on two different occasions I was actually asked if I was on testosterone and how long. Two guys that I had met randomly outside my hotel were like, "Oh, how long have you been on? Oh my God, look at your legs, they're so hairy." And they were actually amazed that I was pre-T, and I joked, "No, I'm just, an Eastern European Jew, so I'm just hairy to begin with." I do have some stubble on my face. I decided to let that grow for the conference to see what that was like, and it was pretty awesome. Again, I was really surprised that people actually asked me if I was on T and for how long. It was really nice. Aside from that, I was actually also asked if I was transgender. That surprised me, but I am pre-T. Even though I bind, I do have a pretty big chest, so my binder does not do the best. If you have any advice for that, for guys out there with big chests, please send it my way. I could use as much advice as possible. I saw a lot of guys who were well on their way to being fully, quote-unquote, fully transitioned, even though there really is not such a thing as being fully transitioned. It's to whatever makes you happy, I think. A lot of guys were on T, a lot of guys were either binding really well or have had top surgery. There were some people who obviously were pre-T, pre-op, whatever. So there was a big variety of that, which was nice to see. On occasion, I did feel kind of like, I feel just like a boy, in a man's world right now. But it was really nice to see that I wasn't the only one who was pre-T. It did feel a little awkward with certain things, like I said, when I was asked if I was trans. But I'm not easily offended. I take it as it comes, and I take it in stride, and that's what it is. My two favorite workshops that I had gone to were one on gender identity in Jewish text and tradition, and the other one was actually for my girlfriend, and we decided to go to, called Your Transition as Your Partner Transitions. As I just joked, but stated, I am Jewish. I'm very proud to be Jewish. I'm very connected to my heritage and my religion. It's an extremely important part of my identity. And I actually knew one of the leaders of the workshop, which is really great. I got to see him. I hadn't seen him in a few years. And it was a great opportunity to really sit down and look at traditional Jewish texts and gender identities discussed in these Jewish texts, and there was so much that I didn't know. I knew that there were certain things cited within the Talmud and the Torah and the Mishnah, but I didn't know just how much, and I didn't know what it said, because unfortunately I haven't had traditional like Jewish schooling. I really haven't had much religious training, and I'm pretty hooked on phonics when it comes to Hebrew. I taught myself. So it was a really fantastic experience reading these texts and seeing that perhaps there is a place for me within my Jewish community, and that it is accepting, even though on the outside it might not seem like that. It's something I have struggled with, and I probably will continue to struggle with for a while. But it was very reassuring, and I just loved looking at the texts, like I said. The one for the sofas, the significant others, friends, family, and allies, your transition as your partner transitions, the woman who was leading it was absolutely hysterical. She was very funny, very well spoken, and I really liked how she described her experience as the partner of a trans man. And she was very honest. And you don't see this type of honesty, I think, when a lot of sofas talk and reach out to each other. I think that they try and be as sensitive as possible to each other because of their partners, and I understand that. I think that it is important to be sensitive to some point, but I also think that there needs to be honesty. You know, I was scared. I didn't originally want this. I didn't see this coming. I was angry, and I had nowhere to turn. Our partners do transition as we transition, and it could be almost as hard for them, if not just as hard as it is for us. And my girlfriend, who's absolutely amazing, she's the one who took me to this conference, who went with me, who sat with me through all of these workshops, and has been encouraging me. She's more accepting of this than I am, to be honest. It took me a long time to be comfortable with myself, and I am now, and I'm really becoming more outspoken about it and coming out to more people, and it's just a wonderful feeling. You know, her complaint is that there doesn't seem to be much community for sofas, and from what I've seen, I agree. And I would love if any of you guys, if your partners know of any organization or group or whatever, please send that information my way. She is part of, I do believe, a Yahoo group, but I think she's looking for something more substantial, and I would love to see her have that. We're very vocal, we're very open and honest. Our relationship is, I think we have a great relationship, but it's a very open, honest one where we talk about our feelings about everything. And I like to know whether she's okay with certain things or not, and how she feels, because yes, I go to her and I complain a lot, but you know, is she comfortable enough to complain to me without feeling guilty all the time? There were a few other really, really great workshops. There was How to Fund Your Transition. There was Top Surgery Show and Tell, which I really enjoyed. I liked seeing the different work of all different surgeons and getting some information. You were basically able to tell Garamoni's group, when they came out, they all looked fantastic. Most of the chests that I had seen, if not all of them, did look great. Some were obviously better than others, but it seemed that pretty much everyone was very happy with their results, and that's what the important part is. Like I do believe I said it in my last video. If I didn't, if anyone has information on any surgeons within the New York area, New York City, besides Dr. Weiss, please let me know. I'm very impressed with Dr. Weiss's work. If I stay in New York City, I probably will go with him, but I do like to keep my options open. I think that's really about it for the workshops that I went to. Unfortunately, I was only able to attend Saturday. The conference was from Thursday to Saturday. There was one or two things on Sunday, but who knows if anyone went. Again, if anyone has any questions or ideas or topics that you think that I should discuss in my upcoming videos, please let me know. I am still a little bit nervous about, speaking to the camera and speaking to YouTube and stuff, but I'm hoping to get more and more comfortable, and having topics lined up really makes it easier. So that's, I think, about it for today. Thanks for watching, and again, I really highly recommend that if you have never been to the Philadelphia Trans Health Conference, you go next year. It should be in June at some point, I do believe. After the summer, I do believe you can check their website. Just Google Philly Trans Health Conference and it'll pop right up. Thanks, and have a great day.